What's happening, YouTube? Thanks for tuning back into the channel today, right here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. So if you've been paying attention to the channel, the biggest center point in the biggest video on the channel has got to be my Epiq Toolbox tour. Toolbox tour of this big bad 84-inch Epiq you see here in the background, and it's in the background of a lot of my videos. So viewer questions on this one is very high. So today we're going to be answering your viewer questions about the Toolbox and the setup that we have right here. Earlier on Instagram, I asked everybody to be able to put in all of the questions they have so I can get everything out and get everything answered for you guys just as they have come in. So question number one from today was, why the Epiq? Was it for the Echo locks or what? Originally, I chose this one because of the space, honestly. The depth of the drawers compared to my classic box that I had prior to this, the Master Series, it was a lot different. It had quite a bit more space. I wanted a second locker, and to be honest, I really like the Epiq series a lot more. The biggest difference is going to be the drawer fronts. My Master Series box that I had, the drawer fronts were always dirty. I had to dust those literally every other day. In this shop that I work in, it's a very dirty environment, and I don't like having my big expensive investment all kinds of dirty sitting here in the background. So I was dusting it all the time, and the Epiq series with the front drawers that they don't have any big lips sticking out for all that dust to sit on. So there's a lot less cleaning and dusting required when it comes to that area of it. So that was probably one of the big reasons why I did it. The other reason was I really was honestly tired of the blue toolbox. I really wanted something different, something fresh, and I was just looking for getting something in the Epiq line because I just love the look a whole lot more. The Epiq cabinets are a lot bigger compared to the Master Series. On top of that, the fact that they have the power drawers built into them, at the time that wasn't an option for any of the Master Series, so having all of that power extra inside of those cabinets, the drawers were a lot nicer. I love the fluid motion of the handles to them rather than the side click locks and the slides. Yeah, just a personal preference on that one, but you can tell, I mean, this color combination, what would be better than flat black with this blue? This thing is just killer. The second question that we had is about the PC. You guys see that one there in the background all the time, the monitor setup. So let's go have a look closer in at the monitor and PC setup again that I have here in the Toolbox. Here for a monitor, we have the Roku. It's just a 26-inch smart TV. Very simple. I didn't go with any kind of fancy monitors or anything like that, just because this one fit so absolutely well in the back of the hutch area. I have a Bluetooth set right here, the Logitech keyboard and mouse combo went with that one, and then how that one connects into the PC, I actually have a multi-USB port going from the PC, which we'll look at here in a second, around the box and to right here. So if I ever need to get to anything or plug any kind of USB ports into the computer, I have this multiplex USB port right here. Now everybody always asks, how do you mount this thing? How do you mount that? It's actually really rednecked and super dumbed down. So on the back of the TV, we've got two bolts popping out from the back, which normally has the mounting holes, and then some mechanics wire rounded between those two bolts, and those two hooks then grab onto that mechanics wire. So pretty simple, kind of redneck, but it's there, it works. Then over into the cabinet here, this is the heart of the situation. And all it is, it's nothing too fancy. It is a Dell Optiplex 3050. So this one has a Core i3 7th gen processor. Pretty nice, pretty easy. As you can see, it's probably about 8 inches in height and only about 2 inches in width right there. about the same depth, about 8 inches or so in depth. It's got plenty of inputs that I needed for it. The 2 USB port inputs, one goes to that multiplex port right there, and then the other one is going to have to be for the Wi-Fi extender, because here in this big old tin cabinet, you obviously do not get any Wi-Fi. So we've got up to the top right there a Bros Trend Wi-Fi optimizer. So the antenna for that is going to be able to reach all the Wi-Fi that we need here in the shop, because without it here inside the box you get no Wi-Fi, no signal at all. Like I said, pretty easy setup, pretty nice, pretty simple. I like the cleanliness of it, and it just works. Next question that we have on the list comes in from Instagram, and it asks about the lights. What kind of lights do I have? Are they the Snapon, or are they something different? How are they turned on inside the hutch, the cabinet? We'll check a look at those. Lights in here inside of the hutch are the Snapon set. You can see that it is the full 4 LED panel all the way down, along with the switched input from the hutch door. You can see when we pull it away, it turns it off. The little magnetic strip comes closer to it and it turns it back on, received in through the little box right there. Same general thing in for the cabinets. When you open them, the lights come on and it is activated by the little magnet in the receiver right here. You kind of close it and the lights go out just like that on both sides. Lights all the way across the front strip, and they are very bright. I really like those. They turned out really nice. Now those Snap-on ones, they are kind of pricey, but you know what? They work well. They work the best with this specific setup, and I like them a lot. Next question we have coming in on the list, Mechanic Surefire Ryan asks, if you could change anything about the setup on your box when you ordered it, what would it be? So if you watched my video on originally going onto the Snap-on Rock and Roll Cab Express, that is when I first had the idea that I really wanted one of these boxes. When I looked at it, I priced out 2 different options. One was the Stormtrooper look. White toolbox, black trim. I think the tuxedo Stormtrooper look is just killer, and I kind of like that one too. However, how I did this specific box with the flat black in the newest blue trim, I really like that one even more. So I wouldn't change anything with the color. The actual sizing was exactly what I needed for the budget that I had at the time, which is a big thing that newer technicians don't really take into account when they're ordering these new boxes. They don't take into account that, oh, you know, we might have some slower times coming up. Can I really afford this box? So this is what I could afford. The old box that I had was all paid off at the time, so it made sense and it worked out for me. I got me some more room, side lockers and everything, so we'll look and see what is coming up in the future. Who knows, we may even have to add to this one here in the next year or so too. This next question I get quite often in how I clean my box. So this one is a flat black toolbox, and you cannot use the standard material finishes, the waxes, the cleaners that a lot of the other boxes take. This one you have to use a little bit something special, something that doesn't have any kind of residue that is left on the toolbox for the flat finished. Usually I switch between 2 products. First would be Windex. Windex is cheap, easy, quick and easy to use, and it sprays on really nice, doesn't leave very much residue at all. You know, if you seem to rub it in really good and wipe it until it all evaporates away, don't leave any on to evaporate by itself, then it all comes out very nice, streak-free shine, or not a shine, but streak-free at least, but it works out really nice. But the best stuff that I like to use is the Snap-on Matte Finish Cleaner. This stuff works really great for the matte black on the paint of the toolbox, as well as the stainless inside the hutch. It works really well for that. Doesn't leave any streaking at all. This one leaves the absolute smallest amount of anything on the toolbox, and it seems to just stay cleaner longer. Stuff doesn't stick to it very well. It just seems a lot more smooth across the finish. Pretty easy as well. This one usually costs me about 10 to 12 bucks, right around there on the Snap-on truck, and I go through one of these bottles, I don't know, once every 2-3 months or so. So not really that big of a price jump on having to use that for a flat toolbox. Another viewer's question that came in was, what was the first toolbox that you had? Now, I'm gonna go off of not the first toolbox that I ever had at my garage when I was a teenager, but when I first started into the industry. When I first started in, I was going to Sinclair Community College in Dayton, Ohio, and we got some really good student discounts through the Snapon SEP program. So the very first box that I ended up getting was a 40-inch roll cab done in orange and no top to it. It was what I could afford at the time. I got that and the $2,400 student tool set, which pretty much filled that box up halfway. I had that one for about the first year of school, and then that one was full with all of those tools, my Craftsman, Sears tools, stuff that I got from Harbor Freight, as well as some of the Snap-on SEP program tools. Then I ended up upgrading to a 54-inch blue Snap-on double bank roll cab, and I had that one for the next couple of years. After that, it went up from there, upgraded to the blue Master Series that you saw earlier on the channel, and then to my big boy Epiq, which I wouldn't trade anything for it. I was able to afford each lines of those boxes as I went through, not purchasing another box until the one was at least paid off. I was never in real debt because of it, and I absolutely like staying that way. Don't like owing Snap-on guy very much money at all, especially when it comes to finance charges. Now for the last and final question that I receive most often across every single social media platform is, how much in debt are you over that stupid box? The big box, it doesn't make a technician. The tools in the box do. You don't need a box that big. You know what? I'm gonna tell everybody exactly how much I paid for this box. So normal MSRP on this whole setup, which is the box, the top riser, the two side cabinets, the power top, and even this cart I got at the same time. MSRP on all of that put together is right around $35,000. All right, $35,000. They ended up giving me a trade-in on my old box, which was fully paid off. $20,000 is what they gave me for that toolbox on trade. No tools with it, nothing like that, just the box. They took it in. It was in pristine condition because I keep it just as clean as this one. Traded that one in. At the time, Snap-on always does some kind of marketing thing through their programs, and you had $5,000 off if you use Snap-on credit. All you had to do was finance a certain amount, and that was easy. This box, the MSRP, which is what it normally was for, made that work, and they gave me $5,000 off just for using that service. So that knocked it down even more. Now, because I actually got the promo price from one of the reps that was on the Snap-on Rock and Roll Cab Express when I had it there that day, those kind of reps are more of the Snap-on higher ups. They're from corporate level instead of being just the normal local distributors for Snap-on. Those local franchisees, they can't give you quite as big of a discount as what some of the higher up Snap-on reps can do. So because of that rep was able to get me a hell of a good deal on this model coming through and coming out, we were able to change the trim on a very late process of the order. Actually, the original order went in with black trim, so they got that changed. Anyways, I digress. Back from my rant. They ended up giving me an extra $5,000 off. So that was an additional $10,000 off just in rebates from them. So after all was said and done, I ended up owing just a little hair over $5,000 on the difference from my old toolbox to this all brand new setup for this one and this cart altogether, which I think is one hell of a good deal. I ended up paying that one off really quick, and it was nothing to me to be able to handle that one. I definitely am a proponent to teaching these younger guys who are coming into the system that you do not need to be going after the big fish in these giant boxes right off the bat. You need to stay in your price range of what I can afford. And me personally, 5,000 bucks for a box like this, it's nothing. I absolutely love this box. I love the fact that it has Echo locks. I love the color scheme that I ended up going with. And you know what? It's my freaking money. I can spend it how I want to. I know it doesn't make me a better technician to have a toolbox like this, but you know what? I can afford it. I can pay for exactly what I want to. This is what I wanted. This is what I like. If you guys don't like it, I guess too bad for you. Well, that's about all the viewers' questions that I have for today. Now, down in the comments below, let's hear a little bit of your guys' input. Whether you like to see toolboxes like this one, whether you like to see whatever kind of organization methods were from each other's, and then also let me know what kind of toolboxes you guys started off with when you first started in the industry as well. Give some of those newer techs some ideas on where to start things out. Now, it's going to be up to you guys to be able to evolve in the careers that you have, to be able to get up to toolboxes or tools collections as you guys see right here. It's all up to you guys. Don't put yourself in too much debt over things like this because, as most people say, the toolbox does not make the technician. It's just an accessory that looks good in the background. That's about all the information I have for you guys today. Make sure you guys go over and check out www.toolheadscrate.com. It's our monthly subscription service from myself and JRC54. Monthly subscription service for you guys, the tool lovers, the technicians, all alike. If you like tools, tips, merchandise, coupon codes, even more tools, that's the kind of stuff that we're putting out in these boxes. $34.99 a month plus exact shipping. We're not the ones who are going to be gouging on shipping. Cheap box, better stuff. Toolheads Crate, that's what we go for. Go ahead and check those out. Waiting on the stupid pump because all it does is go. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, turn on that bell notification so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one. If you guys have any other questions, make sure to leave those in the comments below, or you can get a hold of me through my email or message me over on Instagram. If you haven't followed my Instagram page, I put out new updates from the channel here at the shop with the Duramax all the time. Make sure you check that one out. Thanks again, everybody. And as always, you guys stay awesome.